And this is Lala Madness, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Fierce Review. So, you know where to find me at. On all social media platforms at Lala Madness, Instagram at Lala Madness Official. Also, check out my YouTube channel and all of the podcasting platforms, Lala Madness, as well. Jumping right out the pot, back up the knots. More 4, 5s and 9 than the deck of cards and they hot. Go pop a car, whip out the lot, pull up at Walnut, y'all forgot. I got the best on the here, which was a doctor out of Nevada, so keep that in mind. Now, basically the gist of this documentary was that he had hundreds of children from the 1940s rather, until about 20 years ago. Yeah, so he was born in 1912 actually, and he died in 2006. So what happened was after 2006, they kind of started coming out with all of a sudden more children. So now, being he was born in 1912, he started his medical practice actually in the 1940s. Okay. And he was the primary sperm donor basically to women that had no clue that he was going to be their child's father. So, he basically had he had a practice where, he specialized in fertility, basically, but he did have a general practice where he did lots of other, things, as far as regular medicine, primary medicine, so to speak. So, but his specialty was fertility. They said if anybody could get you pregnant, it would be him. So he had lots of clients, and let me tell you what he did to them. So, one lady said that she went in for an infection, and ended up pregnant. So she went into the doctor to get seen for a regular, I'm not feeling well, I think I have an infection. And next thing you know, they show her with a baby on the couch. She said she had saved to go to college. She was basically nowhere in the, had no idea or was nowhere in the feeling or wanted to be a parent at that moment. That wasn't in her near future, so to speak. She did not want any children. Being said that, he still made sure that she did have children because she had a child, which happened to be by him, because she went home and realized she was pregnant shortly thereafter, and she had his baby. Alright, so a few of the women actually said that they were virgins, and that when one of the children actually of one of the women that he impregnated, which would have been, of course, in this aspect, one of his children, they actually asked him about it, and he said he actually told one of the children that it was a cotton swab with semen on it from a previous patient or something, and then it must have he accidentally used the wrong swab, and then, oops, my bad, I got your mother pregnant. The lady did say his mother said that he kept coming in and out of the room, and she was trying to figure out why he was coming in and out of the exam room at that time, while she was getting the exam done by him, which probably was how the sperm happened. So I don't know what his MO was or what how he did it, but I know he didn't physically have sex with any of the women. Most of it was done by some form of injection of the semen. So why he kept going out leaving, I don't know if he was going to go get you a little something to put up in there, but I'm assuming that's what happened now. Especially if a lot of them were virgins. I cannot imagine waking up being a virgin, went to go get a checkup, and now I'm pregnant. Somebody need to explain this to me. And where's the child support coming from? This mysterious child's daddy. Who is helping me take care of this? Okay, now, so keep in mind, all of this happened before Ancestry, 23andMe, and all the other DNA, testing services that are available in the mass quantities now. It's more widespread and it's like a normal thing. Back in the day, DNA was kind of done because of a crime. It wasn't, or, if you paid to have a test or the state required it for child support or whatever have you. It's not something that's generally just, free. Somebody's paying for it. So, in that aspect now, they've given people the option to pay for it themselves. So there's Ancestry, 23andMe, and the other sites as I mentioned now. this one particular child who is now an adult. They're all adults. They're all grown. His mom actually ran into a lady, and she said that she went to the same doctor, the guy's mom, and she said that he used. The lady told her that he used his own sperm, and his mom said, "Oh well." She ended up going to him at the same time. So now in her mind, if you went and somebody's telling her that they feel like he used his sperm or that he did, and then she's saying, "Oh well, hell, I went at the same time." Jinkies, coinkadink. Okay, so now we got an issue here with that. So, except his mom was actually using the sperm of his father, who she was married to, which would in that case be her husband. And they came to him in order to have a child because he was a fertility specialist and that was his damn job. Okay, so now the two men, which would be the doctor, Dr. Fortier, and also this lady's husband, were friends. They were in the army together. They went, did all that. Okay, they would hang out. They still were like close buddies. It wasn't like we just was in the army and served together. They actually still were currently friends. And come to find out, he was the one that actually had impregnated his own friend's wife, which would be Dr. Fortier, with his own sperm. So what he did was, instead of using the husband's sperm that came with his wife to get impregnated, he used his own sperm. I mean, okay, that's what he did, indeed. Okay, and then the kicker is that he actually delivered the child and signed the birth certificate as the delivering doctor. Even though I feel like he signed in the wrong place because he actually was the father. But he signed as the delivering doctor because he actually was as well, that and that. Now, the same child ended up saying when he got older, him and his sister, who supposedly have the same mother and same father, got a test done. The sister's test came out to be 99.5% Jew, and his was only 51.2%. And he actually has blonde hair and blue eyes, and all of his family has dark hair and brown eyes. So, blonde hair, blue eyed child, and you only have half of the Jewish ancestry that that your sister and the rest of your family had. Something is wrong. Hello. Right. Okay. So now, one of the children also took an ancestry test as well, determined that the fertility doctor was her father, and not her mother's husband. So the mother was upset because she was 23 years old at the time, and Dr. Fortier was like 50, or in his 50s at the time this incident happened with this particular pregnancy. So he just went around all the way, like I said, from 1940 all the way until this lady said, all the way up until 20 years ago, or when she had her, he got kids all the way down to her child's age. And he just passed away in 2006 at 90 years old or something like that. So he lived a very long time and he has a lot of babies. Therefore, yeah. And then he, now, this is the kicker. There's if you look at the middle age pictures of him, he kind of looked like Tom Hanks. He looked like, because all his kids got, they look all up in here. So in that aspect, I mean, it might be a lot more kids that if you went to a fertility specialist back anytime between 1940 and it was in Nevada between 1940 and 2006, you might want to check. Because, he might be the daddy. Even though he's not here no more and there's nobody to actually, take on that responsibility of being the actual father, it wouldn't be him because he's not here, but it probably might be him when he was here, if that makes sense. Anywho, the state of Nevada, now, people had started coming out. The state of Nevada actually did not at the time have any rules or guidelines in place to prevent the doctor from inseminating their patients with their own sperm. There's other doctors that were also on the special that also said or defended him to a certain degree and said that back during those times they also had used their own sperm and that they are fathers of multiple children out here in the world as well because people wanted to get pregnant and they came to the doctor. Multiple doctors and the doctors at that time felt it was okay to use their own sperm and there was nothing preventing it, especially in the state of Nevada. When he was 55, he delivered two daughters for a lady in the hospital. Took them home and raised them as his own kids. And they say he just wanted to help people. I mean, keep in mind he actually had 6 children or something, 5 or 6 children and a wife. These children claim that he did some form of molestation or something on the lines of that. Basically child abuse, molestation, rape, whatever, to the children that was in his home. The wife took off with the kids. So then he continued on in his career, impregnating everybody else, I guess to fill the void that he didn't have a wife or kids anymore. And then he delivered at 55 these 2 daughters, raised them all the way till they was grown. They think the world of him and think he's great. These other children now are meeting, getting together, and they're trying to kind of build, I guess, a relationship with each other, being that when you take a DNA test and then now you're trying to kind of piece your family together, which I'm doing at the time as well, so I understand. It can be kind of frustrating when you find out that your father is not your father that maybe raised you the whole time, that he thought he was your father too. Now, how many homes do you think though, do you think was ruined because a mother and father take their child to the hospital, they need to get blood or something happens, or like this test and stuff happen, and now kids are plugging their information in. Parents are trying to get more details on their background, and they're doing it with their kids, and then you find out that your father is not your father. How is that? And and then they have to explain this. Now, how about the women, or how many marriages has this man messed up? When a woman is trying to explain to her husband at the hospital, or when the doctor is saying, oh, you can't get blood because you're not the daddy and you're not a match, blah, 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 or whatever way they may have found out, DNA testing, whatever happened, that they're not the father, and then the woman is like, I didn't sleep with nobody else, it wasn't me, I swear, it wasn't. How do you explain that when it probably really was true that you didn't sleep with nobody else? And now it's because you went to this place and now this man impregnated you with his sperm. Whether you went to a doctor's visit, whether you went for a checkup, whether you went specifically for that, whatever it was, you impregnated now with by him. I mean, and then so he just basically, the population didn't expand it by, he said thousands. It's thousands of kids is what he's saying. Or what they're saying in the documentary, rather. He's not here to speak on his behalf, but they're saying that there's thousands of children now that are out here by him that he's had and produced in folks that he wasn't there to assist in raising. He created a whole bunch of, some of them are fatherless homes because there was no father in the home. And then there's another person's responsibility therefore after that. So he messed up a whole lot of stuff. There's nobody to kind of go back and blame for certain things. There's nobody to take care of the children. You leaving them in households where there's only one parent to kind of sit there, and some of them didn't even want to be parents. Keep that in mind. That now they're having to rearrange their lives to take care of a child by themselves because you're not around to do that. One woman did sue him, and she wanted like 16 million, 13 to 16 million, one of those numbers. I'm not sure, look it up. And she won. They settled out of court. He ended up being smart and putting all his assets here, there, and everywhere. And he settled out with a lady that said, I was impregnated by you, had a child, and now I want some money. And he paid her. And then he continued to practice according to the state of Nevada in his house, where he still had patients coming over to his house in his old age, all the way up to about 80-something years old. Instead of coming to his practice. So they didn't really stop nothing. Even after this litigation where he had to pay the lady out, they still allow him to practice at home, or so that I found was strange. But then he did choose a state, or was doing it at a time where there were no laws in place to prevent it. But was he dead ass wrong? Hell yeah, because you made a lot of people, a lot of kids don't have fathers because it was you and they didn't even know. A lot of people didn't even know that their father wasn't their father because of you. So it was a lot of things that he kind of messed up. But the 2 girls that he raised from 55 on until he died, think the world of him. So I want to know what y'all think. if you found out that your father was actually a doctor who just impregnated your mother, who probably did or did not want to be pregnant, and your father was supposed to be somebody else, but come to find out this man just wanted you to be, you know, his child, then, you know, let me know what you think. Anywho, you also want to check out the special too on Amazon. It's called Babygod. For those that want to look at it, because there was a lot of juicy details. The first 17 minutes I was floored. I'm just gonna keep it real. I was like, okay, yeah, where we going with this? And it's like an hour and something long, so it's a lot of details in it. A lot of things he did. It's other things about him as well, and other documentaries, and like a couple books too. So check them out. But that is the breakdown from Lala Madness for you with Babygod, the Amazon special documentary on Dr. Fortier. So tune in, check out the rest of the shows as well. There'll be more coming. Any ideas or topics that you're interested in hearing about, then definitely let me know. lmfiercereview@gmail.com. Lala Madness on all social media platforms. Thanks for tuning in. And this is Lala Madness, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Fierce Review. So, you know where to find me at on all social media platforms at Lala Madness, Instagram at Lala Madness Official. Also check out my YouTube channel and all of the podcasting platforms, Lala Madness as well.
Jumping right out the pot, bag up the knots. More 4, 5s and 9 than the deck of cards and they hot. Look up a car, whip out the lot, pull up at Walnut, y'all forgot.